Jonty Gentoo, The Adventures of a Penguin by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. There was once a penguin called Jonty Gentoo. He lived with his aunts in a pond at the zoo. His aunts told a tale of a land far away, and there, where the sun shines all night and all day, are thousands of penguins who slither and stroll on the snow and the ice all around the South Pole. Was it a story, or could it be true? "I'm going to go there," said Jonty Gentoo. The aunts were adoring, the keeper was kind, but Jonty Gentoo had escape on his mind. He longed for the snow and he dreamed of the pole. To reach it, he said, is my one dearest goal. His aunt said, "Grow up, eat your fish and talk sense." But Jonty had noticed a gap in the fence. And one moonlit midnight he squeezed his way through. "It's time for adventure," said Jonty Gentoo. Jonty kept walking as day followed night. He saw lots of poles, but they didn't look right. A flagpole, a barge pole, a pole for a tent. Not one of them looked like the pole his aunts meant. Then, just as his feet felt as tired as could be, he came to a cliff and looked down at the sea. Bright and inviting, sparkling and blue, into the water dived Jonty Gentoo. He swam through the ocean for week after week, flapping his flippers and filling his beak with cuttlefish, jellyfish, codfish and krill, as the water grew colder and then colder still. Till one snowy day, as he came up for air, he couldn't help feeling, "I'm just about there." And a white frozen wilderness came into view. "The land of the penguins," said Jonty Gentoo. But where were the penguins? And where was the pole? He waddled for weeks, but he met not a soul. Winter brought darkness, the sun went away, and Jonty felt colder and sadder each day. Matters grew worse when a huge bearded seal decided a penguin might make a good meal. Till a white furry creature appeared and said, "Shoo!" and the seal fled in terror from Jonty Gentoo. "Thank you," said Jonty. "I did get a scare." "My pleasure," replied the enormous white bear, then added, "How else may I help you today?" "Perhaps," Jonty said, "you could tell me the way to the famous South Pole." But the polar bear said that Jonty had come to the North Pole instead, though there wasn't a pole there as far as he knew. "What terrible tidings," said Jonty Gentoo. Winter went by, and when summer came round, a grey and white tern fluttered down to the ground. "Good heavens!" she cried, "what a curious sight! You look like a penguin, but can that be right? I've never seen a penguin up here, but at the South Pole, which I visit each year, are thousands of penguins exactly like you. Can you show me the way there?" asked Jonty Gentoo. "Yes," said the tern, and she took to the air, so Jonty Gentoo said goodbye to the bear. Then the bird in the sea and the bird in the sky, one diving deep while the other flew high, travelled together through sunshine and storm for mile after mile till the waters grew warm. There were swordfish that soared, there were blue whales that blew. "This is the life," declared Jonty Gentoo. But Jonty grew tired and his flippers felt sore. He found it too hard to keep up any more. "Then look," said the tern who had spotted a boat. On board stood a man in a bright yellow coat. "Great Scott, it's a penguin," they heard the man say. "Hop in, little penguin, we're going your way." Jonty climbed in and made friends with the crew. "So now I'm a sailor," said Jonty Gentoo. At last the boat landed, and there on the shore, black, white and orange, stood penguins galore. Emperor penguins, majestic and tall. Adelie penguins, quite sweet but too small. And then, round a corner, he saw them. Great news! A heart-warming huddle of gorgeous Gentoos. They trumpeted gladly, then stood in a queue, and took it in turns to say, "How do you do?" to brave and adventurous Jonty Gentoo. And half a year later, the tern turned and flew back north to the bear, stopping off at the zoo to visit the aunts, who said "ah" and then "ooh" when the tern told the story of Jonty Gentoo.